So you got a chance to go to Miami. You got a chance to see the two phenoms,
I did.
Guerrero and Bichette. And I know one day, one game isn't going to tell you too much. The one thing I've seen with Bichette is, boy, he looks young.
Yeah, he's baby-faced. I mean, he is 19.
He looks like he's like 15, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, but he doesn't swing like a 15-year-old. And he had an okay showing. I think he got one ball defensively in the field. He had two at bats. He hit a ball pretty hard to right field that an outfielder chased down, and then he struck out chasing with a couple men on in his other at bat. But Vladimir Guerrero played almost the entire game, I believe, or maybe the entire game, and he had a couple hits. I think he also one ball in the field. Just looked really at ease, and it's nice to kind of assess guys, because so much of the stats in the minor leagues, you're competing against meat a lot of the time, right? And there's no soft spots in either of those lineups. Those are the best of the best at the A levels.
Yeah.
And so you get a bit more of a read of kind of where the player's sitting right now.
Well, Guerrero is ranked second overall right now among all prospects in baseball, and Bichette moved up. He was in the 90s, and now he's in the 40s.
Right.
And I would say by the end of the year, he'll be in the top 5, maybe number 1.
Quite the trajectory for sure.
Again, you knew who they were. You knew what you were doing, and you're only there for one game. Do you think you could have picked them out in the crowd? Like if you just walked into the stadium, had no idea what you were watching, would those two guys have jumped up and bit you?
Oh, Vladdy, definitely. I mean, Vladdy's got the big hair, and he's a big boy. Just the way he looks physically draws attention to you. Bichette, just because you mentioned he's baby-faced, he's not the biggest guy around. You wouldn't think that, this guy nearly hit 400 for half a season. You wouldn't necessarily look at that because he doesn't kind of drip that, oh my gosh, this guy's a superstar. But he certainly brings it. And, I had a chance to talk to his dad, Dante, a little bit, which I actually thought was really interesting because I said to him, you were a good player in the minor leagues, but your career built progressively, and it took you a couple times back and forth from the majors to AAA before you established yourself. And I said, your son has just come out of the house like a gate on fire, just boom, or come out of the gate on fire. And he was saying, yeah, he's way more advanced I was as a player at that age. He was like, at his age, I didn't know what a curveball looked like. I didn't know how to have a plan going into an at-bat, whereas Bo Bichette's already at the point where he's outthinking the pitchers in terms of how they're going to approach him, and he's so analytical as a hitter. It really is a key integral part of his success.
What's also intriguing to me, as you mentioned, Dante Bichette, who was played for a significant period of time in the major leagues.
14 years, I believe.
Good player. I mean, not a superstar, but a good player.
Yeah, I think he had a couple all-star campaigns.
Yeah. And then Vladdy's dad, Vlad Sr., if you will.
Hall of Famer.
Is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
So not only do you have two guys playing on the left side of the infield and projectedly may follow each other all the way up through the system and all the way to the Blue Jays, and maybe even simultaneously, they're both sons of longtime major league players.
Right, and the Blue Jays have quite a few of those, too. I mean, Jason Grilli was the son of a major leaguer while he was here, and they've got Casey Clemens, who's the son of Roger, and
right.
Kevin Biggio, who's the son of Craig Biggio. So, is there something to bloodlines? Maybe. At the Futures game, too, Cal Quantrill was out there, son of Paul.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's going to be something pretty special as well. He's in his first full season back from Tommy John surgery. So, I mean, these kids have grown up within that baseball environment, within that have good baseball pedigree, obviously, but they're not fazed by the surroundings because it's been a part of their childhood.